Victoria's famed Golden City, Ballarat, a part of the national network of ABC television.
Hello everyone, I'm just checking on my phone, YouTube, to make sure the stream is working. I think it is. Yep. And pause. It is stinking hot outside. The prediction this morning with the almost said RSAV, Bureau of Meteorology, or BOM as they like to be called these days, it was 31 or 32 or something like that, but my weather station says 35. It was about 37 here yesterday, and on Monday it's going to be 37, and on Tuesday I think it's going to be 43 or 44, so it'll be a little bit warmer up here. And Adelaide is getting 45 tomorrow, and yesterday they had in South Australia about somewhere recorded 48 degrees or something, so it is quite hot, and the smoke is beginning to roll in from the fires as the southerly breeze picks up. So this radio is, I'll get rid of all this paperwork first. This is the schematic for the Grundig I'm working on at the moment. Is that going to sit up there? Maybe. These are all the parts I need to order for it, or I'm in the mid-process of ordering them now. And I'm also doing, finally, my Luxman L100 amplifier, and you can see the instruction, the service manual for it. It is super complicated, this amplifier, and these are all the transistors that go into it. So yeah, the 14 there, mostly they're 2s and 3s. This board is duplicated because it's the main output board. I may not get all the transistors for this because the output transistors are fine on it. I had it recapped completely about 10 years ago. I just didn't have the time or the patience to do it myself, and it took the guy who's no longer with us, unfortunately. How long did it take him? It took him 2 weeks, pretty much, well, not full time, but doing it quite often. Yeah, so it was a pretty complicated amp, and we'll do that on the channel eventually. Okay, this one is a Digitech AR-1748 from Jaycar about 13 years ago, I think. And it's developed a very strange fault. The owners of this just have it as a standby radio. It hasn't been used very much, and they live down a place called Smythesdale, which is probably about 15 kilometres away from here. And during, it was about 2 weeks ago, I think, on the Friday, they were evacuated because there was a big grass fire in Skipton, which is sort of a bit further on towards Adelaide, or if you go this via Mount Gambier or Portland, Hamilton. So yeah, it's we took it apart, or I took it apart in front of them, just in case it was just a dirty pot or something like that, dirty switch. They're getting sound out of the earphone socket here, and that works perfectly all right, but the speaker is not playing ball. So I sprayed out and fiddled around with the headphone socket, but no dice. So it does work. I can just hear it when it's on. So there's something strange going on with it. So the volume control is down here, treble, volume, treble, bass, AM gain. They mostly used it on the ABC for fire stuff. It was apparently working last year when they tested it. They put new batteries in it during the week, and yeah, it's developed this fault. So this is the band switch for shortwave. Then up here we've got AM. I'm not sure what W and N mean. Oh, probably wide and narrow. And then FM, stereo and mono. So then up here we've got tuning steps, so stop, slow and fast. Then down here we've got the timer with the alarm clock and all that sort of stuff in it. Snooze button, quick tune, and then hour and minute. Up here we've got the dial light and a lock. And I don't know, I'll bring it down. Right, that's better, isn't it? You can see it now. Yeah, so you can see the clock is working, although the time isn't right. It's 4:09 at the moment. So it does lose time, and it's got a battery in it for the clock, as well as 6 D cells, and it's quite heavy. On the back, we've got some BNC type connectors here. One for the aerials. I don't know what they do. We've got something, oh here we go, the AM IF out. FM shortwave BXT antenna. We've got the ground here and medium wave BXT antenna there. So on the side here we've got 9 volts in, and over here we've got the earphone, a line in, a line out, key light on off, antenna sensitivity, and a antenna DX local. So sensitivity internal external. I wonder if that is the problem. So that's external, internal. We'll try that. So at the moment it's on, and I don't know how I've turned it on then, but it is on, and it's on the local ABC station. That's interesting actually, although the volume is up quite high. Got the lock there. Don't know what that one does. This one is the battery status, so it's full batteries. Yeah, I'm not sure what that does. And we've got the timer, then we've got our signal strength here, fast and slow, then we've got the megahertz there. So what's that doing? So that's okay. Internal, yeah. So that is internal, external antenna. DX local, that shouldn't affect the FM. And the light. So the light comes on. And light still comes on. So key light. Oh, it's down here. Wonder if that. I can't see anything, but it might be a bit bright here. Again, it's not going to do anything. The tone control shouldn't do anything. FM stereo. It's only stereo on the headphone output. And I just heard that make a thump as I change from FM to AM. Again, a thump. So wide, narrow. It'd be useful if there was a indicator of on the dial. And although this station isn't stereo, it's just a mono broadcast. Right. So let's turn it off. That's odd. Don't know what's going on there. I'll have to check that out. I've taken the screws out of it, and we've got the front comes off of it. How did I get it off last time? Yeah. So let's see. Right, so they're soldered on. Very lightweight wire on this. And there's a couple of connectors down there. Get to them. They're cutting my fingers to shreds on the back of my hand. You'll have to desolder that. So I'll just wait for the soldering iron to warm up. I don't want to put this down. I can just do that. I'm going to have a biscuit because I've been drinking gallons of water and my stomach is rumbling. Okay. I'm not sure how we're going to do this. Do I take the panel off? Yeah, so it's quite a lot of SMD parts down here and underneath here. And along there. So it looks fairly conventional in many respects, but all of these SMD parts instead of the usual full-size parts. I think it was. I'm going to take this board out, and that looks directly soldered. I've done a couple of strange things on this because there's plugs. Oh, maybe that's just the power and doesn't connect this. Take that back. Yes, I'm going to take this out and I'll just see if the headphone socket. I won't be able to see very much. Yeah, 2312. Yeah, I'll just get a plug, little 3.5 millimeter stereo plug or something. Have I got one up here? Yes. Is that going to pull everything down? Oh, here's one. Got about 50 of these somewhere. The computers used to come with them, the school, so one day I just went in and asked for one of these leads because I needed one in a hurry, and I just said, oh, have you got one of these lying around? And he came back with a whole box of them. He said, here, have these, we don't use them. Well, they're just sitting in the cupboard. And that feels okay. connect up a speaker to this bench speaker. Let's do the right polarity. Am I going to get the stop these touching each other? Bring that right up there. That one's not going to go any further. Hopefully they won't short. Now plug this back in again. Okay. On, okay. So that's not going to make any noise. Once the amplifier is definitely working. You can hear that when I unplug it. Oh, I did. So try doing the channel band change again. Unplug it. Yeah, definitely. Sounds like a heartbeat, doesn't it? Sort of like a very low, soft thump, 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 thump. Not doing it now. It's odd. Still on, yep. Okay, we're not changing band. Must have pulled this out slightly. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. So the front end isn't getting through. Now. Let's sneeze. Okay. I'm going to be doing that a lot. Yeah, the sky is sort of very, very brown and muddy, and even though I've got all the windows closed and everything like that, I can still smell smoke quite a lot. Ugh. So excuse me. Right. It's almost as if the aerials are not connected or something. It's giving full strength. Ugh. Why is that not coming through? And wonder if I can. Wait, did I put that radio back? Yeah. I'll just go and get the other radio cleaned up. This one is it's only got a mono switch on that one, or mono plug. So I'll go and get the other radio. Cleaned up too well, even though I'm only halfway through. Here it is. Knew I'd put it somewhere on this. So that smoke is really getting bad. And it's going to get worse over the next few days, I suspect. So let's turn this on.
Thanks for your company here on ABC News Radio. Mandy Pressland with you for a check of our top stories before we take you back to the BBC. Eastern Daylight Time is now 4:30. In South Australia, it's 4 o'clock. Queensland, 3:30. The Northern Territory, 3 o'clock. And in the West, it's 1:30.
You're listening to ABC.
Act alert has been issued by South Australia's Country Fire Service for a fire burning at Kalara in the state's upper east. Fire is currently uncontrolled and burning in a northerly direction towards Rani Road. The CFS says people in the area 30 kilometres west of Pathway should prepare to leave as the bushfire may threaten their safety. In Western Australia, the Department of Fire and Emergency Services says it's received 9 calls for assistance after a cyclone made landfall in the Kimberley region. Ex-tropical cyclone Luana has been downgraded to a tropical low after crossing as a Category 2 system between Beagle Bay and Cape Leveque just after 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. A DFS spokesperson says requests for assistance came overnight from the town of Derby. The governor of the US state of Minnesota, Tim Walz, says he's spoken to the White House and demanded federal aid.
Okay, so I'll try and get the 5 o'clock news for you. Okay, so that is outputting stuff. So let's see if the that's interesting. I've still got our clock on here. Must be where maybe it's got a super cap in it. Must have a super cap in it. Can't see the battery there. Okay. Not sure how you get to that input, but yep, it makes a thump when you turn it on. That's a good question. How do you get the input into it? So we're on AM. Medium wave, short wave 1, 2, 3. That's interesting. Looks like, yeah, that's the light. That's the sleep lock thing. Quick tune, mute, power, preset. It's definitely thumping. How odd. Some muck on that. Reset. Let's put a reset somewhere up here, but there's no mop. Oh, it's on that board on there, isn't it? Okay. So it's got an input, but there's no way of switching across to it. Very odd.
They message her and she replies immediately.
Right. Let's go back to a reasonable band. Go back to AM. Medium wave. That's got me stumped. How to get the input into the input. What I might do is just do a very quick internet search. So it's an AR-1748. Okay. All of those transistors on that amplifier, there's no original numbers available, so I've got to look up all of the equivalents. Turn this microphone on for you. It's behind the screen, so I'll have to talk a bit louder. I'm hoping to get a camera over here so I can switch that in and you can see me what I'm doing here. The picture-in-picture thing. What is it? Digitech AR-1748 manual. That'll do. Scribe just answers instructions. That's not what I want. How to use line in. Use the line labelled as line in or auxiliary on Digitech. Connect to 3-bar, socket to the radio. Ensure the radio is powered on. Then select the appropriate input mode to play the audio through. Connect the audio's line speaker. Activate line in mode. Switch radio to auxiliary or line in. There ain't one. Okay, so note, this is just the AI stuff. Hope you can hear me. Note, the AR-1748 is primarily a world band radio, and in some models, inserting a cable into specific ports can automatically activate that input. Okay. Yeah. Right. Well, that was singularly unhelpful. So we'll go back to here. So, right. Now, I'll just wonder if it is actually coming through there.
Someone who says he worked with...
Let's have a listen to the speaker if I can get close to it. Can't hear anything. Right. There's a couple of clip leads. Really got to get some more clip leads. Never have too many clip leads. Right. You'd think something would come up on the display though, if it was on the inputs. And why isn't that? Come on. Right, it's finally connected. You can hear hiss. You can just hear that. But I don't know whether it's this or not. No. I think it is going in. Yeah, it is going in. This is very odd. Okay. So we'll turn this off. And this off. So the input is working. And it's just not got any volume. So it might be something on this. I hope the chip here isn't oh, excuse me, just unplug this before while I'm preparing to sneeze yet again. Yeah, so there's a chip here and I don't know whether that was interesting. Touch that capacitor and I got some noise from the speaker, although it might have been those two being shorted out. Yeah, let's take this board out, have a look at it. just disconnect this. Put this down here at the way. It's not that. Wow. Certainly didn't want these going anywhere. It's quite a robust radio actually. It's quite well made. But I don't think they sell radios anymore. I've got a very small corner at the local Ballarat Jaycar, and that little corner has got electronic parts in it, and they've got one aisle with electrical parts in it, and the rest of it is, the store is sort of camping. Which one is going to come off easily? That one. Is, yeah, camping things like fridges and four-wheel drive accessory lights to blind people with, and inverters, solar inverters for caravan things. They're really not much of an electronics shop anymore. They're going like Dick Smith went. For those who remember Dick Smith. And that is glued to this end. This brown, gunky, horrible stuff. Don't want to break the board because there's the connector there, so there's bound to be tracks nearby. What have I got? And it sounds like a dead capacitor to me, but as it's not my radio to fool around with, is that going to work? No. I'm liking to snap the board, but it's just stuck around here. Everything else is free. Let's try levering this up very gently. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that was really in there tight. And this one down here now. There we go. So let's have a look underneath. Ooh. Yeah. Put some sort of powder over it. Okay. Where's the IPA? As in the isopropyl alcohol, not the Indian beer or whatever it is. Or Irish, I can't remember what IPA stands for. It's written all over the beer bottles in England as a type of beer. I can't find my IPA or isopropyl. I'll go and get some. Didn't take it outside, so everything is back in here. I'll just go and get the litre bottle. Is this clean enough yet? It's clean enough for doing this. Better have a drink. Okay, let's clean this off. I think this is factory muck on here actually. Well, that is mostly at this end, but it's right along. I'm pretty sure no one's been in this before. Yeah. Catching on. Right. Must get some more. I've only got a small amount of this left. I did buy a 10-litre bottle at one stage. That was from Radio Parts. I don't think they sell that quantity anymore. Okay, where is that coming from? So that is going around to there. They are okay, let's try putting something directly into it. How can we get this to work? Without damaging the board. Alright. Yeah, it's got something very sticky in here. Lean that there. Pick this up again. This one's quite tight, but it's a yellow one. These wires are just too fine for it. Having said that, take gripped first time. Okay. Right. Don't like the way that's installed. That. Yeah. Where's okay. Right. So I'll bring you back a bit. And. Yeah, I don't like the way these are installed there. Sort of very strangely positioned. Yeah, one leg shorter than the other, and yeah. Okay. Now, none of the capacitors look like they've leaked or anything. Yeah, there's something very sticky in there. Okay.
West roam here, and they're at the heart of a fierce debate. Can the fragile land continue to support them all?
You're listening to ABC News Radio.
The mention of phasing out essentially has gone.
Whatever is decided will be significant.
You're listening to ABC News Radio.
They were able to seek support to get emergency accommodation.
Okay. Got the news coming up in about a minute, so yeah, I can definitely hear that. Just sort of very, very muffled and.
Queensland 4 o'clock, the Northern Territory 3:30. In the West, it's 2 o'clock. You're listening to ABC News Radio.
Should have the news.
Firefighters are continuing to battle a blaze in Victoria's southwest, though the threat to lives and property has reduced. The fire in the Otway Ranges broke through containment lines yesterday afternoon, causing an emergency situation for residents around Carlisle River and Gellibrand until a few hours ago, when the threat was reduced to watch and act. Authorities say it's not yet safe to return for those who have evacuated Gellibrand to return home. There are also major fires burning out of control in other parts of the state, at Walwa in the northeast and Wonnagatta Valley in the Alpine region. There's also a fire burning out of control at Malakuta near Lake Barracuda. And Forest Fire Management Victoria's Chief Officer Chris Hardman says everyone near the fires needs to stay across the latest information.
That fire continues to threaten the communities around Gellibrand, and further to the north, Barongarook will see smoke heading toward it. What's going to be really important is people have their Vic Emergency app.
And in the fire-affected areas, you can tune to your local ABC radio station, your emergency broadcaster, for the most up-to-date information on the fires. In Western Australia, the Department of Fire and Emergency Services say there's been record rain and some property damage in the state's far north following the passage of ex-tropical cyclone Luana. The system has now been downgraded to a tropical low as it tracks inland through the Kimberley region after making landfall along the Dampier Peninsula yesterday as a Category 2 cyclone. DFS at Kimberley Superintendent Leon Gardner says there's been localised flooding and road closures.
So we'll go up to... Oh. All the way down. Come on. Go into automatic mode.
As a pack of
It's going to take ages. Come on. Should go around to the other end of the band. Yeah, there we go.
You know, ranting to the box, so it's almost like
there's still cricket on.
Was inside her head on that point. She's struggling to win points.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I think there was that determination. I've got to make
anyway, we'll give it a preset.
From the far end, southern end, serves wide to the forehand of golf. The returns long.
Well, tennis, I should say. They normally sort of have the news on. Anyway. So what I'll do is I'm going to replace these one by one. I'm just looking on here. That's obviously the amplifier chip. Excuse me, you've got a mouthful of food. That's obviously the amplifier chip. So these should support it. And it definitely sounds like a dead capacitor. Sort of got that very low, muffled, distorted sound to it. Okay. So we'll just do these one by one. If we've got the equivalent, the right values. So is that, these have got glue all over them, that horrible stuff which goes brown and then starts to eat away at things. I really want to read what's on them. sort of, it just sort of says 1,000. It's just got lots of zeros there. And this is 10. Yeah, so much glue. They obviously didn't want this to break. Yuck. I don't know if you can see that or not. But can't really bring it up to the camera. But this is really bad. Okay, broken that bit. This is a 105-degree caps. Just can't see what value it is. Is that 1,000 or? It looks, yeah, it looks like 1,000. At 10 volts. That's an unusual value. Well, it's not an unusual value, but I don't think I've got any of the thousands that small. Let's have a look. 1,035. They're massive things. Yeah. 1,050. So I guess what we could do is just put this across the terminals on this and see if it improves things. Do the old Shango trick. Yeah, it's, these are 2200 at 16. Yeah, these are all ones I just don't keep in stock. So that one's a 0.1, 0.47. Yeah. Bring that glue across there. Notice that they haven't erased the obliterated the number on the chip. Right. So negative is that end. It's going to be awkward. Ooh. It's interesting. So there's definitely power getting to that. Got a nice big spark off of that. And I touch those together. No. Okay, so I can... This has really got me stumped. Oh, it would help if I connected the speaker up, wouldn't it? Oh. So that capacitor has done something. Right. That's the same value as what's in there. It's much, much bigger. So the amplifier is working. So what isn't? I wonder... Check the voltages. I haven't got a schematic for this. I wonder if it's volts or millivolts on that chip. Okay. So we've got volts. What's the ground? Where's the ground? I guess negative on one of these caps. It's going to be ground. No voltage there. Half a volt there. 5 volts on that one, so that's good. No voltage there. 8 volts on that one. 6 volts on that one. I'm on AC too. That'll be better. So yeah, 9 volts on that one. 4.5 on that one. I'll try and bring that over so you can see that. I'll try not to. My arm in the way. So I'll start at the beginning again. So nothing on that one. Half a volt on that pin. 5 on that one. I can hear it making noises. Nothing on that one. It's probably earth. 8.5 or close enough to 9 on that one. 4.5 on that one. 9 on that one, which is the battery level. 9 on that one. Nothing on that one. 8 again on that one. Nothing on that one again. Nothing. Half a volt. Nothing, but it's making a noise. This is very odd. We should be blasting in through there. Right, so let's turn it off. And we'll check the resistor on here. So much glue on this. Is it open? Or is it just glue insulating it? Is it open, that resistor? Wish they wouldn't cover these things in glue. Makes sense if this was open. Okay. Got some metal there at long last. That is open. I don't know what's wrong with that. Right. I think have we found cause of our problem? Try that though. Sometimes you don't get a reading on the resistors when it's in continuity mode. Oh no, it isn't. Yeah, there is something there. Really touchy. $22K. Yeah. So it looks like red orange or something. So that would be right. Has to be something on here. The volume control maybe? Is this one. There's the 3 there. So we'll do that. $1.9K. Go to the center tap. Come on. 0.9 or 9k. So it's probably a 10k pot. Turn it right down. $10k. That's strange. So do the other side of it. So that's 4 ohms. And this is 0.8k. Okay, yeah, that's working. Right. This is really odd. Unless it's something to do with that chip or a chip on this board. I'm going to, next thing I'm going to do is, yeah, because I can't, so that goes the control panel, that goes the power, so it comes in here. I haven't got my signal tracer either at the moment. It's kaput. Gonna get another magic eye for it now. Took it down to Melbourne last weekend and it was all wrapped up in about 5 layers of bubble wrap, and it somehow managed to destroy the magic eye. Well, yeah. What I want to do is actually try and get this off. Let's see if we've got anything coming in. That is welded on there. That glue. I suppose I can go onto there, can't I? So let's see if there's any signal coming out of this. Okay. Okay. And let's go to FM in case we've got some muting happening or something. 107. Just jam that in there. And we'll see if we get anything on any of these pins. stand this up so we can see it, and I can see it, which is the common earth. So that seems to be, can't see with this, there we go. So is that earth? Yeah, that seems to be going around, round, round. Where's earth then? It's connected to that resistor. This one's connected to that transformer, transistor. That's connected. Let's be ground plane. So let's try. Is that negative? That may well be. So we've got something there. 102 ohms. That's very stable. Nothing on that one. .51 meg, and that's rising. So we're on a capacitor there. It's the one I did before, I think. 12 meg. 2 ohms, that's stable. That's nothing, and that's nothing. So I would have expected sort of, mind you, it's not tuned into a station. Is it 1015 or something? 107.5. That's kilohertz. That's still on AM, I think. Yeah. Let's go to FM. And that should have been on FM then. Okay, 107.9 megahertz. Yeah, the signal strength. There we go. So that's on the station. Should be the cricket or the tennis or something. Okay, back onto that one. That's a ground. And the same. Must be digital or multiplexed or something. These are all stable voltages. That one's just falling. That one's rising. So it's on a capacitor or something. It's got nothing on it. Oh, okay. That is the negative there. So it's 8K. That's true regular. Yeah, it's a pulse of some description. That one's just open. That one's open now. Oh no. That could be the signal. Though that's going up. No, that's not it. Yeah, that looks like the best bet. It's got a pulse on it. That's too stable. I don't know. I can't find a schematic for it. When I looked the other day, I might have a look again for a schematic. I mean, it's probably sold under about 25 different brands. Let's have a look for a schematic. Okay. I'll run the chair over that cable. Right. Hope you can hear me. Let's go over here. Owner's manual. Radio repair. Wonder what was wrong with that. No, that's not the same model, I don't think, is it? Oh yeah. Should test, open the case, output stage, checking caps, frequency, testing the audio, attaching the ground wire, conclusion. Test, well, I'll watch that after if I don't get anywhere with this. Rubbish, Tech Marine. Use review DX. Oh, he's done one. That's good. I'll have to have a read of that. Manuals, instruction manual, music. African Digitech Solutions, that's not them. Sony Digital, 1993. Portable radios. No. Nothing there. For repair, it is recommended to check manufacturer's official website. Yeah, rubbish. Not a device with widely available public schematic. Technical issues. Yeah, nothing. Okay. So it looks like we're on our own. It sounds like a simple problem, doesn't it? I mean, it's the tuner is obviously working and tuning things in. You can hear it just as it's starting up. It's making a thumping noise, so the amplifier is working. I don't know. What's the consensus? Do I ring the client and say buy a new radio? So this was a last ditch attempt at getting it working. They were quite prepared to go out and buy another radio, and I said I would have a good look at it before they did that. So it's not a bad radio. But and it cost them $250 when new, which isn't to be sneezed at. Yeah, I can't see any bad traces. I can't see any breaks in the board or I guess what I can do, there's nothing on, where does that go? Does that go directly, and the chip is over here and it goes through. This will all be tone shaping and things like that with those caps. Yeah. I don't have any really. Keep on meant to buy some needlepoint probes. These are just too big to do SMD stuff with. And I don't have a microscope either. So if anyone wants to buy me a microscope, send me a microscope for review and then forget about it. Yeah, this board is 21/4/2012. But I am suspicious about these caps. I don't want to spend any money on this. Because the people don't want to spend any money on it. If it was my own, I would do a lot more with it. Let's see if I can find this chip, which has a bit of muck there. That's sort of, don't think that's going to do it though, but no, it's loose. Yeah, so let's have a look for this chip, CD8227. CD8227. CD8227 GP circuit pin out data sheet. So it is a commonly available chip. Is audio power IC, built-in 2 channels, portable radio, cassette tape recorder. Japan, they should be safe enough. Okay. Some general radio cassettes with power on-off switch. Thermal shutdown protection is built in. Because of the parts reduction, the dip package space merit is remarkable, is it? So it is high power, 2.5 watts or 3 watts, 10%. Low popping noise on power on. Yeah. Tell us another one. Small quiescent current, ripple ejection crosstalk, bandwidth 2020, standby switch, soft clip. You've already told us about that. 9 volts. Okay, output peak. 80, I don't know what that is. 25 degrees, power dissipation, yeah. Quiescent current, typical 21, maximum 45. Yeah. CC, yeah. Okay. So it's got an op amp in it, comes in, there's capacitor, 47 nanofarad, or is that, can't quite read that. There's that, it's the switch. So that those middle, so pin 9 is the thermal shutdown. Other than that, it's balanced. 45 ohms, 30 ohms, 30k I should say. Okay, so 100 microfarads, 0.15 microfarads and 1,000 for each channel. It's 1,000, I like thousands, don't they, on this? This I can be used without coupling capacitor. If volume slide noise occurred by is undesirable, it needs to use the capacitor. Yeah. Adjustment of voltage gain. I don't need to do that. Thermal shutdown. Input stage. It's the input circuit so as to make its usage possible without the input capacitor. Oscillation, preventive matters, input voltage, power on switch. Output power is changed by pin 1 supply voltage. In not same pin. 12 volt, 12 supply. Don't know what that means. Select pin 1 supply voltage. So pin 1 is the supply. Okay. So if we short those two out, we're going to get the power on it. I wonder if that is the problem. Although if that's disconnected, we shouldn't get anything. We'll check pin 1 and 12. So pin 1 and 12. See if we're getting power in it. Okay. So let's give it plug this back in. There we go, I think. There we go. So plug back in. And so 1 and 12. How many pins do they count? So there are 14 pin or a 12 pin. I'm betting the 2 end pins. Let's put onto voltage. So that is off. So we shouldn't be getting anything across those. getting 3.3 volts. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're getting 0 volts across there. That's odd. So it's on when the radio isn't off, and it's off when the radio is switched on. Any ideas out there? Okay. That other YouTube video was done about 5 years ago, and it runs for 32 minutes. So I'm not going to watch it now. I didn't see that before, so So what I might do, this is coming up for 2 hours, this stream. I'm prepared to go for much longer because it's so hot. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go down to Jaycar and get a couple of their crappy capacitors, because they don't cost very much. It's their one saving grace. I mean, fancy calling your capacitors suntan. Who'd want a suntan inside the radio or inside your electronics? And I'll watch the video, or in fact I'll watch the video after I've ended this stream and get some dinner, and we'll see what's going on there. Yeah, this is very odd. It's still either one of these capacitors here or that chip. And that chip still seems to be available. So I don't know whether, you know, if the chip's like $2 plus $2 delivery, or it's on DigiKey or Mauser or Element 14 or RS, and I can get it down here really, really cheap, then I might change that chip over. If it's going to cost $5 or $10 plus postage of $20 or something ridiculous, then I'm not going to do it, because it's not going to be worth my time, and that's all my profit gone on it. So you can probably pick these up for, you know, $20, $30 anyway. Okay. All right, so I'm going to end it here. In fact, I might just see if they have a 6 o'clock news on the ABC, so you can hear about the bushfires and weather and stuff. And I'll show you. Well, this is getting quite hot, this phone. Come on. So, well, that's Adelaide. Why is that sitting over the top of that? Okay, Ballarat Central. Well, this is saying 27.1, but I don't believe it. And they've lowered the maximum on Tuesday down to 42 from 43. Come on, focus. Where's the focus? There we go. So that's on Tuesday, 42. Back to Adelaide. So it's still going to be, wow, gee, 45 tomorrow. They will be sweltering. That is really bad. And then, yeah, it's not going to cool down over there till at least Sunday. Yeah, 42, 33, 38, 39, 31, 25. Wow. It is a bit cooler up here than other places though. Yeah. Another hot one on Friday by the looks of it. Okay. And there's the Vic emergency one. It was on, yeah, there it is. Why isn't that stupid thing? Hide that. So we don't have any advice. Extreme heat, prepare now. There's no emergencies around here at the moment, which is quite okay. Fine by me.
But clearly it must have been a lot more controlled than this one.
Match point for Coco Golf. Serves out wide. Great serve. Mukova lobs it back.
No.
Sits underneath the high ball. Smacks it down the forehand side. Cross court backhand from Mukova. Then goes...
No. Doesn't sound like we're getting a 6 o'clock news on the local ABC station, or the... That's probably just a national broadcast. They didn't bring anybody in to do the local news or anything like that because it's a Sunday afternoon. They're getting quite cheap with their broadcast, these guys. And it all comes out of Sydney these days, apart from during the week between 6 o'clock and 11 o'clock during the day. Anyway, or 10 o'clock at night, I should say. Okay, so let's leave it here. What I'll do is I'll look up prices on this chip and see if I can get them at a very, very low price. They still seem to be in production, and yeah, and if I can, I might go down to, well, when I next go down to the shops, I'll pop into Jaycar and get a couple of caps for this just to try it. That'll only cost me a couple of dollars, and otherwise and there's SMD parts on the back and everything, so I don't want to even touch those things. Okay, so thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and like, and don't forget I've got a Buy Me a Coffee page and a Patreon page. So yeah, okay, let's end the stream here. It was either going to be a really quick fix or something which I can't trace. So goodbye. Oh, and I've made progress on the Grundy radio I'm working on for the guy who came down from Canberra, and I ordered all the parts, and so when those parts come in, I'll do another video on that. Okay, speak to you soon. Bye.